What's going on, family? Welcome back to another video. WNBF Pro Natural Physique competitor Patty Lifts checking in with you guys today. And in today's video, I want to go over the best meal plan so you can lose fat faster and, more importantly, keep it off. I'll be breaking down the best food choices and categories so you can build a meal plan you personally enjoy and how you can use these foods to transform your physique. Lastly, I'll break down a sample meal plan you can try or use as a guideline and break down the Lean 365 lifestyle plan for you. But before we get started, please subscribe to join the Team List family so you don't miss out on any future content, and smash the like button as it's highly appreciated. So getting in today's video, most of us understand that if we eat chicken and broccoli and do cardio for 3 hours a day, we're gonna lose weight. And of course that's going to work, but it's not realistic to stick to. You're probably not going to enjoy it. You're probably not going to adhere to it, and it's going to be a very short-term fix. And adherence is probably the #1 reason you can't stick to your weight loss diet. Now, jumping in today's video, let's go over a couple things before we get started, and we have to discuss what actually kickstarts weight loss. So the first principle is actually calories in versus calories out. And to break things down in a very simple manner, you just want to make sure you're not eating more than what you're going to burn. Next, we have to make sure we're eating the correct composition of food to control the composition of our body. And we're going to do that by controlling our macronutrient intake. And that's going to be our protein, carbs, and fat. Lastly, to kickstart your weight loss journey, you're gonna have to ensure you're providing your body with an adequate hypertrophy stimulus and providing your body enough recovery to make sure you can continue your weight loss journey. So the first way you wanna set up the best meal plan for fat loss is to ensure your diet is consisting of a majority of micronutrient dense foods. Now, your micronutrients are pretty much just your vitamins and minerals. Although they don't directly relate to weight loss because they don't have any caloric value, they ensure that you're getting in the nutrients you need to continue to fuel your body. Because you are cutting, you are limiting your food intake, so it is more important that your food selection is micronutrient dense so you can get in those nutrients. Micronutrient dense foods are also associated with whole versus processed foods. The benefit of this is that it's also going to keep you fuller, as well provide you more nutrients and keep you satiated. Now, if you look at the satiety index, you're going to see that whole foods will keep you a lot fuller, a lot longer versus processed foods, and you'll also burn a lot more calories. The reason for this is called the thermic effect of food. Now, when you're consuming foods, you have to digest them, and it takes a certain amount of energy to digest foods. Now, whole foods take more energy to digest, so therefore you're going to be burning more by consuming whole foods. The next way you want to set up your meal plan is to include high volume foods. Now, you can either have a large salad with a lot of vegetables, or you can have the same amount of calories and have a small handful of candy. Now, of course, the salad's going to be a lot more micronutrient dense, but it also is a lot more volume to help keep you fuller. Now, higher volume foods are also higher up on the satiety index, which we covered earlier, where there was a study to show which foods kept you fuller for longer. So for an example, we're going to look at whole bread versus white bread. And you're going to see that on the satiety index, whole bread is going to keep you fuller. By using this index, you can choose foods that will help keep you fuller, and they're naturally more volume and naturally more micronutrient dense, so you get an overall win-win situation. Lastly, high volume foods help fill up your stomach physically, and on a side note, a lot of the time people mistaken being thirsty with actually being hungry. So another side tip to do with high volume foods is to ensure you're hydrated and drinking enough water per day. This will help keep you full and ensure that you're not mistakenly eating for being actually thirsty. Lastly, to set up your meal plan, we have to ensure you're eating foods you enjoy. Now, this might seem obvious, but a lot of people jump into a diet they don't enjoy, and it causes them to fall off and quit the diet later on. So one of the rules I like to use is the 80-20 rule, Pareto's principle. Now you're going to consume 80% whole micronutrient dense foods, and the other 20% is going to be blatant junk. Now this will help you adhere to the diet because you're actually going to be consuming foods you enjoy. Now instead of having ice cream, you can have Halo Top. This is going to be a little bit less calories, but this will still fit in your calories and macronutrient breakdown. Moving forward, adherence is the #1 factor to success. So if you're not able to follow a diet that you enjoy, you're not going to be able to do it long term and sustain the results that you have achieved. So you have to be realistic to your preferences and your lifestyle to ensure that the diet you're following is something you can implement into your lifestyle long term. So now that we have all of those covered, I want to break down the Lean 365 lifestyle plan before I show you guys a sample meal plan. And now the Lean 365 plan is to help you guys stay lean all year round. And the first step would be to actually finding your macronutrient intake and calorie intake that you need to sustain your body weight or lose fat. Now to do this is that I would recommend for you to eat what you normally eat. Don't cheat and hold it back. Make sure you're eating what you normally would eat every single day and track it inside a calorie tracker. So some of my favorites are MyFitnessPal or My Macros Plus. By doing this, you're going to find a baseline amount of calories and a baseline of macros that you normally eat. Throughout the week, you're going to weigh yourself every morning. So this is going to be after you use the washroom, if you can, in the morning, before you consume any liquid or foods. And this is going to create a consistent time where you can rely on the data, because if you start eating foods throughout the day, you're going to have food volume in your stomach and your weigh-ins will be off. Once you see the trend of your average calorie and macro intake, you're going to see how your body's reacting to the protocol. You're going to see an average weigh-in, a low weigh-in, and a high weigh-in. From there, you're going to see the trend. Did my weight go up? Well, then you might need to tone it back a little bit. Was your weight maintained throughout the week? You might have to drop it down a bit. Or were you already losing? Now, if we want a specific target, getting into a little bit more advanced principles, our target rate of loss would be 0.5 to 1% body weight loss per week. Now, if you're losing a little bit less than that, you're definitely winning, but I definitely don't recommend moving faster than that because you're at risk of muscle loss and at risk of slowing your metabolism. So moving forward with all the information that I provided you, I created a sample meal plan that you can use as a guideline or use as an example for some of the meals that you can implement into your regimen. So to start off, I created a breakfast, pretty standard, 2 egg whites, 1 whole egg using carton eggs with oatmeal and berries. And for lunch, I created a toasted chicken sandwich with whole bread, light mayo, and zero-fat cheese. And for dinner, I created zucchini noodles with low-fat Alfredo sauce, chicken, and broccoli. And lastly, for a snack, I created Greek yogurt with a Mio flavor squirt and chopped up strawberries. Now, all these meals are micronutrient dense, higher volume, but also have a balance of foods that you can enjoy. Now, you can veer off of this a little bit if you want to throw in, let's say, Pop-Tarts or candy or ice cream, but make sure you're creating better choices instead of finding the highest calorie version of that food possible. So for an example, instead of maybe eating Dorito chips, maybe find crispy minis. You're gonna be following the same principles, but you're gonna be realistic to what you personally can follow. So all in all, make sure your meal plan checks off all these boxes. Ensure that you're having micronutrient dense foods, you're having whole foods, and you're following a meal plan that you can comfortably adhere to. As well mentioned earlier, make sure you are following a hypertrophy-based training protocol to ensure that you're actually building muscle or maintaining the muscle that you have, and you're leaving yourself enough time to recover. If you guys are looking for more one-on-one help, I do provide a one-on-one coaching service where I'll break down your customized training plan, nutrition plan, cardio, supplementation, and provide you guys 24/7 support to my personal number for any questions that you may have. Other than this, I really appreciate you guys. If you have any questions, please put them in the comment section below. If you're not part of the team, please subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.